Don't do it.
Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 237. Hello, Marty.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
Ryan. Happy New Year.
How you doing?
It's pretty good. It's 2019.
Now, you're here for a purpose.
Am I?
Aren't you?
What are you going to do to me?
Actually,
No, you came here for a reason, right?
Oh, yeah. I did.
Okay. All right. Adriano Petty's here.
Hi.
Matt Lawrence is here.
I am.
Some of the upcoming stories. Bungie splits with Activision, which is kind of a big thing, I guess.
Top news story. Kind of a big thing, I guess.
Kind of a big thing. GameStop, apparently it could be sold to another company. Nintendo could eventually move away from consoles entirely. And Amazon is launching their own in-game or game streaming service. But what's new, guys? Marty, what's new with you? How's that Switch going?
Yeah, I got a Switch for, I was going to say for Christmas, but I bought it for myself at Christmas.
Was that before or after?
It was slightly before Christmas. It was like...
Oh, that's right, because we got you
weeks.
stuff for it, yeah.
Yeah. And the stuff I got was great. I really needed the case and a controller to play Smash with. But the Switch is cool. The thing I liked most about the 3DS one was I could just pick it up and flip open the lid, and I was already on the character selection screen, ready to go.
Yeah.
And I still got that with this one, so I'm pretty stoked. I'm just waiting to get on Mario or Zelda next now, though. Although I did try Mario Party, and it's pretty dang fun still.
It's weird that like the last couple Mario Parties have kind of gotten low scores.
They always kind of get low scores. They're just
But
collections of mini games.
Are there reviewers playing it in group settings? It's really meant for that.
I don't know how reviewers play their games at all, actually.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think they play the games. They review them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they got to take notes while they're playing.
Yeah.
And they also have to finish it in a certain amount of time. So sometimes they're rushing through games. I can imagine doing Red Dead.
I don't even know if they finish them all the time.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I know some games, like the reviewer will say, I didn't play it all the way through because it was that bad. He gave up on it.
Right. But other than the Switch, I've been playing Steep. Playing the hell out of Steep.
Yeah, and you wanted to talk about Steep.
Yeah, Steep is a very confusing, frustrating, enjoyable experience.
Enjoyable?
That's kind of like... When I first start playing it, I was like, oh my god, this thing's unengaging. It's confusing. It's dog shit. I think I was calling it dog shit for the first day.
You were definitely calling it dog shit, yeah.
But then we got the multiplayer going, and it's pretty fun. And I think even after the first couple days, I was telling you, like, I'm not giving credit to that game for the fun we had. We had fun amongst ourselves.
But to me, that seems like the point of that type of game. It's almost like a sandbox type game where you can have an open world, massive open world,
Yeah.
to run around with your friends and do goofy stuff. They give you the tools to have fun.
They should present them that way.
Yeah.
Instead, we've been discovering things we can do the past couple days, even though it's been weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was
now.
like a big revelation, too. Like, we found that tour thing.
Yeah, and we found... It is so hard to navigate the UI. Like, the map system is completely broken. There's no consistency in the back button also.
Mm-hmm.
It bugs me.
I had that problem.
Circle or triangle.
We gave up on triangle being the back button on the PS2 or PS3.
Oh.
PS2, yeah. I think
Yeah, it's circle now. Circle's to go back.
The triangle was the back button?
It isn't. Yeah. It used to
on
be.
some things.
No, it was like
What?
on PlayStation all around.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm talking about in Steep, it's on some things. That's
Yeah,
how
on
you go
some
back.
things it's steep.
That is weird.
Yeah. Circle to bring up your map.
Right.
Triangle to close the map. But if you go into the start menu and you go into the Ubisoft Club,
It's circle to go back.
no, yeah, it's circle there.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
The weirdest part of that game is that they train you on some stuff, and then there's like cutscenes on some challenges
That train you again.
that train you again on some things because like I guess it's supposed to be you're supposed to go through it in order, but there's no clear order. Like the game wants you to explore the mountain and find the challenges yourself, and so I guess maybe they assume you're going to go after all the green icons, which are easy first.
Mm-hmm.
But they also don't teach you what those icons are. And we just discovered last night, we're trying to get one of these helmets, and we need to become a legend in all of the categories. And one of them is the bone collector, right?
Yeah.
And if you hover over the event, the little card that appears says Bone Collector in like a banner, and then you know to do that. We just discovered that, and we have like done all of this season's challenges already. Like we're far into this game.
It's weird.
It's a weird game.
The game just tosses you in there too.
Yeah.
There's like I think it was like a slight tutorial, just how to do tricks and how to basically move. But after that, it's just like, here's the entire world and 1,000 icons on the map. And there's no sense of progression to me. It's like, yeah, you level up, but I can't keep track of what events I've done easily.
The progression that we kind of like are just making up on our own is, there's a jacket we like, we can unlock. We have to go do this event. That's about as much progression as we're doing, really.
Is that the point?
And we were doing some challenges. We wanted like a certain set, and we did those. I actually, what's crazy about Steep is like it's a classic sort of challenge game where it's like go down this hill with a snowboard and like hit these checkpoints or get these points or whatever. We did that one. Like you did it for about 5 hours, and I did it for about 8 because I could not get it done. It was the same one, but it wasn't boring. Like it was like you were problem solving this track.
Yeah, I have to
was
say
super
it's
interesting.
like a platformer. You gotta like remember these little jumps that you gotta know for your next run next time, because if you fuck it up, you gotta start over.
Definitely.
And a lot of the fun is just beating each other's scores as well.
Yeah.
We do that a lot. We go
Yeah.
back and forth. It's pretty good.
It's just there's a lot of frustrations in navigating the game.
The UI I would say is terrible. We discovered last night, like I mentioned the tour thing. There we were looking up. So if you go to like the challenge screen, it shows like a picture of this guy in like this theme. This season's theme is Aztec, like kind of like the aesthetic of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like you get like a different helmets and stuff. So there were a set of challenges to get, what is it, the wingsuit, Marty? Or is it the jetpack wingsuit, right? One with the jetpack?
And a helmet and a backpack.
Yeah, so there was like a few pieces that could be used across everything, and then there was like a jetpack one. So it was focused on the jetpack one, I guess. And then a parachute and stuff. But then there was the picture when you go right to the menu is actually a snowboarder with the snowboarder gear.
Yeah.
And you don't unlock that. And we were like, how do you do that? And then Marty looked it up, and apparently what it was you have to go to in the menu there's like a thing called the Steep World Tour or something. And we did a qualifier, and it was like a super easy qualifier, and apparently there will be more qualifiers up until the date of the tournament. The tournament is on some random day that I didn't see it disclosed in the game. It said we are now qualified, having beat one of the qualifiers. But what type of qualifier is it if it just keeps changing challenges? So if I'm bad at the challenge today and I can't get the qualifying time, does that mean that I could just wait till tomorrow and then qualify on a different track? Like, is that what the tournament's going to be like? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know.
The final reward's only for the top 5,000 players too, and we're wondering if there's 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just get in by default.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's serious business. Like, we had one guy, we were playing the competition, which is a beta, by the way. We were playing multiplayer competitions. And what'd that guy do? He got like 70,000 or something.
Yeah, it's like 6 times our score.
Wow.
Yeah, and like what it wasn't like we had 3 other people in there, I think, or 2 other people, and like I'd been doing competitions before, and 4,000, 5,000 was winning it, and this guy had 70,000 points. Like, okay.
Probably because the only people playing this game were the ones who actually like this kind of game.
And like the new people trying it out like us.
Yeah.
On our journey to understand the game, we found this Reddit thread.
Oh, this is a good
that
one.
were just as lost as us.
Oh, man.
And we were trying to like find like, how do we complete this challenge? Where is this challenge? What do we do to unlock this? And like in this Reddit thread, people were like, oh, you just got to do this. And then someone would comment, I tried that, didn't work. And the guy's like, yeah, it doesn't work. And there was like 5 or 6 different explanations on how to do it.
And
They were
sometimes
all
people
wrong.
said it was. Some people said it worked.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that worked for me, but it didn't work for this guy.
Yeah.
And it was that we had to do.
They were all wrong, by the way. We figured it out on our own.
It was what was it? What are they called?
Community
Challenges. I think?
challenges or something.
So what it is it was like, you remember, Far Cry, the live event where it'd be like kill 15,000 deer, but it's across the whole, like all of the community. But you have to contribute at least 1 point to earn that reward, right?
Right.
It was something like that where it was like you have to get these points. But people were saying like if you do your own line, like in free thing, like going down the hill on a certain line is called a line. You can create your own challenge and dare each other and in your friends list to do it. That's what we thought it was, because when you start it, it says you've created a community challenge. So we kept doing it and it wasn't working. And then we found out that there are ones that are chosen by Ubisoft that become the special ones. But we think that no one does it or no one knows how to do it because they're all by the same username, but it's like a really generic username, like Alps Racer.
Alps_racer.
Yeah.
And Alps
on
is the
Alps.
name of the mountain we're on.
So we did one of those. Actually, we did two of those.
So
The first one didn't work.
It could just be like a bot like thing.
Yeah, that's what we
because the
think.
community's dead because no one's creating them. A bot has to.
Even though we were able to matchmake a decent amount of competition in the multiplayer competition, but for some reason, I get like probably is no one knows how to do it.
Yeah, no one knows how to do it.
It didn't. No one really taught it. Like it was a Reddit thread of people being confused.
And we found grammatical errors in the other challenge.
Yeah, there was one where it was like I googled it. It was like be a competition quote of a community challenge quote something, and it was like what? Like what are these guys talking about?
Maybe they just handed off the development to some other country.
I think it was like a French translation problem.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
What's really sad is that the Reddit thread we found was from a challenge that we assume had the identical writing, the identical description, but for a previous season, like last year in April.
Oh,
or
it was
something.
years ago.
Yeah, so it was like a year or two ago in April or something, where they had never corrected that sentence. They just left it. And like there was only 6,000 contributions, so people do not know what's going on because these community challenges appear on the mountain like regular challenges.
Right.
So it's not like they're stumbling upon it in the menu. It's like people just aren't doing these things because they don't know what's going on.
I like, Marty, that you brought up how Ubisoft closed E3 with Steep.
It was Steep. It was
After gaining the reputation of having amazing closers.
This was after Watch Dogs and then Division, and then they did Steep.
Yeah.
Steep was their like big ending.
I remember hearing the crowd just not care at all.
And then they'd all line up on stage together. They were
Yeah,
all hugging
yeah.
each other. The big Steep logo in the background. Free 2 years
We
later.
did it again. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they made the mountain. They made the game fun. And then they were like, oh shit, this game's coming out in a few months. What's the objective?
And then
Right.
they made
I don't
the
know,
UI.
throw icons everywhere. I think that's exactly what happened.
You know, it always I don't get how the UI is bad. Like, first of all, there's literally a person who works at these development studios who is
Yeah.
in charge of developing easy to use UI, and then you have playtesters.
Yeah.
It seems like the easiest thing to fix to me, and yet it happens consistently. Where every application, anywhere, not just games, sometimes have bad UI.
I think it's because there's too many things to do in games now. There's the challenges. We found out we could go to another mountain a few days ago. Like we didn't even know there was
Yeah.
a whole new mountain that you can
Yeah.
travel to. Well, yeah, you were with us when we found that out.
Alaska, we went to Alaska.
Like the gameplay in that game is great. The graphics are really good. It performs really well. It handles all right. It handles pretty good. There's some weirdness with the scoring. I think with the tricks, we couldn't really figure out how to maximize it perfectly. But I mean, we're still getting gold medals. So
It's really confusing to use, and I think that's why the little notification thing comes up when somebody goes through an event, and you can just teleport to your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's because only one person needs to know how to navigate
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Everyone else can just follow you.
Fast travel is amazingly quick, though.
Oh yeah, except
That-
when you go to another mountain,
Yes,
it loads.
but anywhere and it's a massive mountain. Anywhere in there, you just kind of appear there.
Because it's probably, when you go to the mountain, it's probably loading, it's keeping the entire thing. So it's just snapping you to whatever location when you're in it.
And somehow resurrecting the textures out of nowhere.
Well, no, it's probably rendering the entire thing in the whole mountain.
I don't know. I don't think you can do that, can you?
probably
It-
with the cloud, you probably could.
It's probably keeping like most of it, and then it's probably just doing bare minimum. When you're on the mountain, it's only when you go to the next one, it's got to get rid of the old one and then bring in the new one.
I guess it's similar to like Battlefield. I know the map's not as big, but like a Battlefield match, you just kind of appear in a location and everything's there.
And
already.
also remember, like if it's snowy mountains,
It all looks the
it's
same.
all
it's
white
probably
trees.
super light on the compression. Like it or
It looks awesome though, like when you're way at the top and you can see the bottom of the mountain, and it just like covers your entire view. And it's almost a little confusing looking because it starts to go upwards,
Yeah.
but you can see really far in that game. It's
Actually,
awesome.
I'm curious because at a certain point when you're looking at the ice, you can see the texture repeat. I
Yeah.
wonder if that's the same thing for the snow. It's all like just one texture repeated 1,000 times, but you can't tell because it's snow.
Probably.
The water you can tell has a little more detail, but the snow is just snow. So maybe it isn't that hard to just pop in.
We should have made Steep.
Well, we could have made the menu for it. That's for sure. Because
Other
the
than
game
s-
is awesome.
Other than Steep, Red Dead was okay. It was pretty good.
Oh,
Pretty great. It's no Steep. That's a good thing.
oh, I see. Yeah,
Like, what the fuck?
that's a weird way to. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Adriano, what's new?
Just playing some actually, I was telling Ryan this. I missed Hearthstone. I missed my daily Hearthstone quest for first time.
Getting missing your time challenges.
Yep.
Pretty good.
What'd you say?
Missing your time to challenges.
Other than that, I've been playing. I fired up my old iPhone 5 because I want to fucking finish this Final Fantasy game.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the save file has been. I'm like, this phone has been sitting dead on my desk for like 2 years. And I'm just like, I have to finish this game, and that's the only reason why it's on my desk is because I have a Final Fantasy save on there that I can't migrate off. So I'm like, the battery started to swell. So now it's like the screen's like blowing up in the middle.
Jesus.
So I'm like, I'm on a time limit now. Like this is going to blow up soon. I need to finish this game.
You should have taken it in for the battery replacement while it was still cheap.
Yeah, but worst case, what I can do is I have another iPhone 5, which is fine.
You get it back.
I can literally just do a backup and then just clone it onto the other one.
Couldn't you have done? Do you set up your phone as new every time?
I do. I've never actually set up a backup before. I'm assuming that the app data would roll over with it.
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully.
But most games now pretty much have a cloud save of some
Yeah,
sort.
the early Final Fantasies on iOS they don't do cloud support. It's locked to the system.
Yeah, because those are just ports to iOS, right?
They're PSP ports.
Yeah.
But I think later on, maybe some later Final Fantasies finally use like the iCloud system or the Game Center fucking system or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know.
Game Center is weird. They just seem to abandon it after a
Other
certain
than
time.
that, I've been playing a little bit of Overwatch. I'm trying to figure out why I'm not getting these fucking Twitch drops. For some reason, my account doesn't seem to be working right. And we played some Sea of Thieves.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
What
You
a weird,
guys,
what a weird mixed bag of.
It's it's really a weird game. You want to explain it? Because I don't.
Well, last week I think we said we had tried it right with the boats.
Yeah.
With the we had just done.
we had
the
a good
ship.
time with it.
We had a good time with it. We never met any players. So when Adrian and I went back on,
Never met any players.
we never met any players the first time we played.
Yeah.
And
Like steep.
It took me like the third session to finally encounter another.
I thought it was like shooting at each other in ships and stuff.
Yeah,
Kind of.
more of the east side of the map. The west side is kind of the early
Oh.
level, so you don't really
Okay.
see people there.
But we got attacked by some people, and the game is like really, I'm gonna call it a bad design because you spawn on the ship, and the guy just waits for you on the ship, and you get shot again.
You
Yeah.
spawn on the ship.
You spawn on your ship.
So a guy boards a ship, he kills us, we die, we respawn on the ship in which he is still there, and he's just relentlessly killing us over and
because
over
he attacked us. He didn't attack us on the seas. He attacked us at the dock, like we were gonna cash in a quest.
again. Yeah.
And the only thing he gets from it is he could go into our ship, take whatever loot we had, and then go and sell it just for some generic money, which like screws over our quest. Whatever, we're pirates. But what's stupid is what they'll do is like, you can scuttle your ship, lose all your loot, and you'll respawn somewhere else after you've died. So there's a mechanic to get out of there. Or what I do is I just wait. If I keep dying over and over again, I just wait. They'd end up destroying my ship anyway, and then I just respawn. And then it's like as if I scuttled my ship. It's really, really bizarre. The game is like really weird.
And so like
We respawn killed at least 30 times.
yeah,
each.
and,
Like,
and-
it was
my
bad.
God.
it was really fucking frustrating. So like the one time we were playing, and we had gone through, we got so much loot, we were about to go cash it in. We were pulling up to the fucking port to go cash in our quest, and these other players just came in, killed us, took everything, and we had hours of work, and we had nothing to show for it.
Yep.
And we had absolutely nothing. They just took it all, and we died. So like we put it down, and then the next time we booted up the game, I said this to Matt. I'm like, if we don't get something out of this playthrough, I think I'm done with this game.
And that playthrough was bad too. We got killed over and over again too.
But we did end up getting like we did kill the 4 skull bosses and we got the skulls. So what happened was we were so scared. We were coming up to this port. We're like, fuck, we're not even like going to approach this port. What we did was we parked behind this other island. We were like, we pretty much just like created a blind spot. And then we just jumped into the water and like secretly swam around so nobody could see us. And then because you can only carry one thing at a time, there's 4 skulls. We had to go in, and we both had to back out and go grab the other skulls and then go back in. And so it was that.
And right after that, though, you left.
I left.
And I got killed. Someone attacked me.
Yeah.
They found me and they
and I'm
killed
like,
me.
at least we got the fucking quest. Because if we didn't get that, I probably wouldn't have gone back to the game.
I can't even imagine an actual like ship to ship battle because you have to manually go down into the thing, grab a cannon, come back down to the top deck, load the cannon, and then fire.
Yeah.
And also, you have to. You're taking on
that
water.
how
You
they
have to
did
scoop
it?
out the water.
Yeah.
And you
fix the holes.
need to find the cannonballs.
Yeah.
They're not
They're not
in
on
the
your ship.
cannonball bin.
No,
They are in the cannonball bin.
but you had to put them there.
You have when you every time you spawn, you get there's like 10 in there.
Yeah, you get some.
But the point is, every time you go exploring out, you're supposed to pick up resources to bring back to your ship to keep filling up your thing. By the way, any sort of like resources. So there's only one type of food in the entire game.
Bananas.
Bananas. That's the only food.
And you eat them. You eat them without peeling them. You eat the
Yeah,
whole thing.
you literally just take it, just eat it.
Ass
Whole,
him
okay?
out the ass.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
There's only one type of repair item, wood
Wood.
plank. That's it.
Okay.
And there's only one type of. There's several different types of
I think
cannonballs.
there's 3 we've found so far.
Yeah, there's 3 different types of cannonballs. But what happens is you have 3 different barrels in your ship. Every time you spawn into the game, anything you had from the last time is gone. Like it's not like
One time playthrough, like one
yeah,
session.
yeah. You
Okay.
go in, your ship is clean slate. You start over. That's why they let you switch out your ship on the fly. You can go back to the menu and just pick a different ship.
Okay.
Because you go back in, it's empty again.
So these guys that killed you, were they just sitting in their game forever, or are they just better players, assholes?
They look like it because
Well, it was a group of 3 as well.
yeah, because
okay.
because while the resources on your ship are wiped every time, the upgrades and the cosmetic items you buy for your ship are locked in. So
Okay.
like ours were like shitty wooden looking ships with no flags and no like we had nothing to deck out our ships. They had like this super nice pirate ship with
Metal and it was
metal,
black and stuff.
like
Could
clearly
you just
they,
buy that too?
Yeah, you can buy it for real money. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
nice.
so clearly they were involved.
They're Sea of Thieves
Yeah.
players.
Now, I did actually play for about an hour after you left, and I discovered something interesting. I went to a couple of the more, like the larger islands that would appear more dangerous, and they kind of are. I discovered new items. There's these weird statues in the water, and they make like a noise, and they hurt you if you go near them. But if you break them, you get a gem, and it's worth $1,000 each, and you just sell it, and it levels you up like crazy with the merchants. I think it's the merchants. Anyway, you levels you up whoever buys it. And then I also discovered when I was playing that you can save your loot from a sunken ship. So what happens is your ship sinks. If you don't die, you can jump out and you can grab the loot, because this happened to me. You can grab the loot, dump it on a beach. You will then go to the mermaid, which will respawn you in a random location. If you sail back quickly, you can get it off of the beach.
Quickly or without dying.
I don't know about that, because what I did was I was playing and something attacked my ship. I like fought it off. It was like a shark or something. I fought it off, and then I was like gathering treasure. And when I turned back around, my ship was sinking because another shark or something had come and hit it while I wasn't at the ship. So it sunk, but there was just two chests on there. So what I did was I swam out, and I noticed that the mermaid had spawned, but the chest started to float. So I waited. They came up to the top. I grabbed them, dumped them on the island, and then I respawned pretty far away. But I just came right back, and it was all right there. And I just dumped it back on a new ship and sold it all. So you can salvage things if you're near an island. I think if you're out in the sea, I think it just respawns you because it's like you're out in the sea. But and we were able to fight off a ship, an AI ship. We
We
Like, shot them enough that they ran away.
The AI ship's fine. The fucking sharks are fine. Like in fact, when I had encountered a shark on my own, or like a sea creature, and then I was playing with these guys, and like, holy shit, like there's a shark or whatever. I'm like, that's fine. Like I welcome that compared to some fucking real life players, because that like he'll knock your ship once, he'll probably put a hole in it, you go plank it up, you keep going. Like he's fine. It's the actual players are just relentless.
this is a multiplayer game, though, right? So
Yeah.
what are you supposed to be doing with other players?
Well, this is the thing is
Just
like
killing each other, taking the loot. It was
but
just frustrating.
You're pirates.
you're pirates, but the thing that's stupid is these guys are just griefing. Like every single group we've found, which is probably I guess 3 groups so far, they just grief. Like they've already taken the treasure.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time they don't even take it. They don't even take it. They just leave it in the hull and they just keep killing you. You respawn, they kill you.
Yeah.
You respawn, they kill you. And we've killed them and you don't get anything.
You don't get anything.
You don't get anything for killing them. Like the
So
only
they're literally just doing
they're
it.
just griefing. That's it. Just to grief. So I told Adriano, if I see a player, I'm shooting them indiscriminately. Even if they're friendly, they're being shot.
Yeah, I have to agree with him. It's like just we have not encountered a good player at all.
It has to.
I have no reason to trust anyone in that game. there's no beneficial reason for them to be near us in proximity. They don't get
Right.
anything for it. They're not aiding us in any way. If they wanted to join our crew, it's either one of two things. We have to invite them, which is done by menu, or the game will randomly assign them to us. There's no reason why they need to be physically near us.
Correct.
Okay.
I made a boatload of money though in that 1 hour.
Good, you can buy the next quest.
Buying
I did.
quests.
Yeah.
So you can get better quests that give you more money, but you have to buy those quests.
And I was
And-
listening last week. These are just random quests too, right?
Yeah.
It's completely random.
There's,
They
there's
pick,
multiple types.
They pick a location, and they'll either pick an enemy, pick a cargo, or pick a treasure. And then you have to go get it, and then they'll pick another location, and then go get it. So it's a lot of randomizing.
The big
Okay.
money though is not in those though. The big money is like those quests take you to like some island. If you explore that island generically, so like let's say I take a chest quest, like one that where I have to find a buried chest. I go to the island where it says to go, and I find the buried chest. I load it on my ship. If I go and explore that island, depending on the size of the island and stuff, chances are there'll be some loot. Sometimes I'll get unique quests that are just kind of in the area. So sometimes I'll just find a map that tells me where random chests are that aren't a part of a quest. Sometimes I'll find a mysterious journal, get some quests. And then sometimes I'll just find another few chests. Those things, or those gem things that I was finding, those things are worth the most amount of money in our experience. And you can just sell those. So theoretically, and they still level up your factions. So theoretically, you don't actually have to take the quests. The quests are solely to make you go around with an objective. It's like I have to go to the smuggler's den or whatever because there's a chest there. But while I am there, I will explore the rest of the island and find stuff. Like I did a couple of things with those the merchant or the mermaid gems or whatever I was talking about, where I actually had a quest on that island, found so many gems that I was like, fuck this, I'm leaving. I didn't even do the quest and I took off and made like $3,000.
Is it fun?
Yes,
It is
It is
fun.
fun when the game isn't frustrating.
Okay.
It's stupid that you lose everything.
Yeah.
There should be like there's floating barrels. Like we assume when a ship goes down, there's floating barrels and it has generic supplies like cannonballs and planks and food. I think that it should float your loot up to the top if you get sunk by an NPC, and then you should be able to go back like I did to the island.
Is the only point of this game to get money to get new clothes?
Pretty
Yes.
much.
That's
You can't even upgrade your ship.
No, you can buy cosmetics.
Oh,
ship.
you can. Okay,
But it does
Yeah.
change it to like metal and stuff. Yeah, it does change the actual look of but it actually does change.
so
the
you can
ship.
have personalized ship. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. That's better than I thought. And not
And
having that.
there's a lot of cosmetic and each island has their own clothing person with brand new stuff.
Oh yeah, we found some
and like
unique clothing vendors.
new hairstyles, eye patches, belt buckles, shoes, whatever. And some of it's expensive, some of it's really nice, but like there is a lot of that, but that's all you do. In the
Well,
game.
I wonder how Skull and Bones is going to be. It's a little more serious take on.
If you can get off of your ship and it's like this game, like it'd be super nice if this if the closed crew thing was actually a closed world in Sea of Thieves, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
But I that seems even more pointless to me.
See, the thing is this game is one of those games where it's like there is no story, but it's like you want to have a sandbox pirate game. Here it is, sail in this sea. There's some quests if you want to do them. Go get treasure, make money, and make your deck your person out.
Yeah.
And your aesthetic shows off how rich you are. That's it.
sounds like steep.
Kind of. It shows how rich and
one-
skilly you are.
One more steep complaint.
Uh-oh.
there's these emotes you can do.
Oh yeah.
Oh Christ!
And me and Matt work towards getting like goofy costumes and stuff. Like Matt's an inflatable T-Rex, and I'm a giraffe. So when you press square, like the T-Rex will roar, and the giraffe will make a giraffe noise.
What's that giraffe noise, Marty?
Well, actually, he squeaks.
Yeah, okay.
just
I
squeaks.
think he's a reference to the Toys R Us giraffe.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But it's like one of the few things you can do to like express yourself towards other players, or so I thought. It's actually inviting them to a group if you're near them.
I invited a bunch of people last night accidentally.
And once you invite someone to the group, we found out you cannot kick them out.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So whenever they go to another event, it's going to ping up and take up space in your screen because they're going to notify you of them going to an event. You cannot kick them out.
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, no problem. I was trying to roar with my dinosaur, and it wasn't.
All right, let's hop into the stories for this week. So Bungie is leaving Activision. So they used to be with Microsoft, and then they kind of left, and then they went out, they hooked up with Activision in 2010, and they made a couple games, and now they're leaving again. What do you think is going on there? The Destiny franchise is a little odd. I'm not sure how well it's doing.
I don't think Destiny 2 sold from what I've read in articles. Has not sold as well as they thought it was going to sell.
Probably because they made the same game.
And it was probably on a client in which nobody wants to use.
The
Battle.net client.
Battle.net.
Yeah. No, nobody wants to have like. It's just like another client that people just like. Why can't they just have that working in Steam? Like they just
Was the idea to? Because obviously Blizzard wants their games to be more noticed.
Yeah.
So were they trying to make? Or are they trying to expand out Battle.net?
Yeah, they're just trying to bring more people to it. They're just starting to umbrella everything under one.
Mm-hmm.
But you go into it, it's divided. Like all your games are on the left, but it's still Blizzard, all the Blizzard stuff, and then they have a section Activision, and like they have.
So you need Battle.net to play
On
Destiny
PC.
2?
Yep.
On PC.
Yeah,
That's really
it's
weird.
it's only through Battle.net.
That's bizarre.
Yeah,
But people were celebrating that when it was announced, though, weren't they?
I don't know.
I don't
Like
think that people
Battle.net
are
fans?
celebrating. Yeah,
Well, because maybe better servers, like because
probably that. It's probably better servers, but I think they're celebrating the fact that Destiny 2 was coming to PC because the first one was not on PC at all.
oh okay.
But after the split, Destiny is going to continue to be on Battle.net. Like they're not. It's not leaving that. It's going to still be on there.
However, Activision has transferred publishing rights for Destiny to Bungie, allowing the developer to fully control and publish its own property. That's surprising. You think they'd want to hang on to that brand?
I mean, this is
Activision.
no publishing.
I don't think they want to hang on to that.
You think that it made that badly, eh?
I don't think they want to hang on to that brand.
right.
It's not a very.
I like the
they're
game.
They're not good games.
I didn't even think Bungie would want to hang on to it. Just make something else. Make a new game.
It's kind of sad after Halo. You know,
Yeah.
they just gracefully fall.
It's kind of sad what happened to Halo, too.
Does no one? People like the new ones, don't they?
Yeah, this guy doesn't.
Yeah. You still playing Reach?
Oh, yeah. Found out Laura has a 360, so I'm going to go out and buy a Reach now.
Reach was good.
You're gonna go out and buy. Why don't you just buy digitally?
I'm going to go out and buy a card so I can buy it digitally.
All right, GameStop. They're not doing too well either financially, and apparently they could be sold to one of two companies. This comes from the Wall Street Journal, saying that two companies are bidding for GameStop. Now, why would you want to buy a dying company?
It's probably the inventory that they have.
The toys and stuff, and
They're probably going to take them, package them, sell them off. You know what they're probably going to do? They're going to sell it off to another company, put them in those mystery boxes that go to all the expos, and that's probably how they're going to offload it.
Nice.
It's amazing that GameStop is falling. I mean, it was expected.
Well, but this is also we also don't know. This might just be a company buying them out. Like
Unless these companies think they can turn it around.
yeah, they might legitimately think they can turn around.
That seems risky to me.
Yeah.
Because you're already seeing like places that just sell toys, like Toys R Us, they went under. You know what I mean?
Well, Toys R Us Canada still.
But why would GameStop think that they can transition to selling toys?
Does GameStop have an equivalent to EBX?
What the fuck is an EBX?
It's like a toys only EB Games. Tim was telling us last time he was on the show that it was some sort of memorabilia-based one, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's based on like the games and stuff they sell. It's not based on the games as in board games. It's not based on the video games.
What?
Like, you know how like a lot of an EB games now is like board games and memorabilia, little statues,
Yeah.
that type of stuff, memorabilia. And EBX is focusing on that stuff. It is not focusing on video games.
Do they have any video games in there?
That I don't know. But I do know that EBX is like on their bags now and stuff. Like I've been into EB Games and there's like the new logo. And I think London or something, he said it was the first one to have an EBX. So I'm wondering whether GameStop has an EBX equivalent or whether that's just the Canadian division doing that.
All that shit that's in EB Games, like when you go to Lime Ridge, you have to like line up around
Yeah.
all that garbage. Just
Oh
to
my
get to the
god,
counter.
it's like a
Why the
fucking
fuck did
it's like
they
an
move the
IKEA
cashier
showroom.
there?
You have to walk in one. It's like a one-way path.
And I like looking at that stuff, but I'll
Yeah.
never buy it. I'm like, oh man, a Chewbacca mug, that's sweet. I'm not gonna buy
Yeah.
that.
You know what's weird too when they're making those toy walls, they tape it up. They put tape on the box, and so if you wanted to buy that thing, they got to come untape it, probably tearing the pictures and stuff off of the boxes.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing. Unless they know they're not going to sell that stuff.
The thing is like that one in Lime Ridge it seemed like such a large store when the checkout was on the right side.
On the wall.
Now it's like a
And
tiny little thing.
Now it's a floating island in the middle. It's like this was the wrong fucking unit in this mall to do this.
Yeah, honestly.
It is so fucking crammed in there. It's probably a fire hazard.
Why not even have it at the back? Because their door to their
Thing
back
is right
rooms is
there.
back there. Why
Yeah.
not have the
You would
checkout back
think.
there?
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah, it's not a fun place to be. And every time I filled out those, do you guys ever fill out those surveys to potentially win a $100 gift card?
No.
They always ask like, how could it be improved? I always said your stores are like just bad. They're not a fun place to be. There's nothing cool about
They
them.
used to be okay.
Yeah, I remember, and not every, like, there are still some EBs that you go into Meadowlands, it's spaced out pretty well because they have more
yeah.
real estate.
Upper James.
Yeah, like there are it's just that one in the mall, tiniest spot possible. They decided to oversize their desk, put it in the middle, and it's so fucking crowded, and it always feels hotter in there.
It
It's
was
just like
hot
you
in
can
there,
you
yeah.
can feel the sweat in there too.
I think it's because people start to panic because it's claustrophobic in there.
Maybe
I think it's because I definitely start feeling panic if things start backing up. I'm like, where the fuck am I? Am I in line?
like I
Like,
would
where the fuck?
I would seriously like to know Cadillac Fairview's like policy on square footage, how much space you need for foot traffic, and I bet you any money that EB Games is violating.
Well, I wonder how much longer they can afford to stay there. Because a
The
lot of
prob-
the smaller stores left because I think they raised the rent, and
Yeah,
then they're
yeah.
getting more higher end stores. in
Yes, but EB Games has they're a pretty big company. The Upper James store can give that franchise can give money to
Oh.
that one if they can move money around to help support that. They're not they'll be around for a while.
there. The one in Linden Park Mall, it stank, man.
Is that
It
one?
was
Is that one
thick.
an island too?
Yes,
An island.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
ones in the malls are becoming islands. It seems.
for whatever reason, maybe
so fucking dumb.
maybe because they can keep a better eye on everything. I don't know.
I always thought that it was they don't like looky loos. They don't like people looking around. It's like you go up to the person, you say you want this game, and you get the hell out of here.
Maybe I have no
They
idea.
don't know what I'm talking about when I go and talk to them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. I heard some questions answered incorrectly over the holidays, and I was
Yeah.
like, "You idiot!"
Yeah. Oh, can I have this official Nintendo charger? Do you guys sell that? Oh, I got this official one here, and just pulls down biogenic
Yeah,
stuff.
biogenic. Yeah,
Come on, man.
It's officially biogenic.
Yeah.
It's not.
God damn it.
officially licensed or something.
Actually, do you know what that controller is you have? Because it's not the Pro controller, but it's still a controller.
so what? It says
What's-
wired Pro
It's
controller.
absolutely not a Pro controller.
What the
Absolutely not a Pro controller.
Yeah.
What the PS4 one or the
No, I have like a third-party Nintendo controller.
Like
but
a
it's
wired
got
one.
it's Zelda. Like it's got Nintendo written on it.
It's a Nintendo product, but it's not the Pro controller.
No, it doesn't have Rumble, and it's wired
Oh wow. Okay.
How does it wire in? Actually, is it used to USB?
in the back.
Okay,
You know the little flap. You don't even got your dock going yet.
no,
but
I don't.
On the back of the dock, there's a door you can like unhinge, and you can plug like 3 different things in the back there. The controller goes into the USB port, and around the end of the controller, there's just like this fat piece of plastic. It doesn't let you close the door on the controller,
Damn it!
so the flap just has to be open if you're using that controller now.
Damn it!
And you can't use it with,
A different
Just-
cord, you
but
can't
just the Switch.
it's USB.
There's nowhere to plug it into the.
But you wouldn't want, if you're using it mobile, you wouldn't want
No,
that
you
type
put
of
your
controller.
stand up and then.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Oh, I see.
And that's why I found out I couldn't.
I thought. See, that's weird. I thought it would be like USB-C. That would make sense. You can plug it in the bottom.
That'd be sweet.
That's freaking weird, man.
Drain your battery faster.
What's that?
Drain your battery faster too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
then you wouldn't be able to plug it in.
Although I guess the Bluetooth would drain it too. All right, moving on. Speaking of Nintendo, they talked about how they could eventually move away from consoles, and this comes from the company president. That's pretty intense. Now, I think they were just speaking in general terms about how they could. They're basically saying that they're not committed entirely to a console.
Yeah, and
Nintendo doesn't have to be a console manufacturer.
They weren't originally. They were a toy manufacturer.
Oh, and they had the Sony Nintendo platform, right?
Well, no, you're talking about the Sony, the Sony, the Nintendo PlayStation,
Yes.
or are you talking about the? You're probably talking about. There's also a Super Nintendo one, the Philips.
I forget the timeline, but
But
was Sony trying to make a console with Nintendo, and then Nintendo went off and made their own console?
So yeah, what happened was Nintendo partnered with Sony to make a CD add-on, and then they prototyped what was called the Nintendo PlayStation. And then at the last second, Nintendo backed out of the deal, but Sony was so far in that they had all this tech that that's where the PlayStation branding came from, and they just made their own console to begin with. And then Nintendo ended up licensing out their characters to Philips because they thought they were going to get a better deal out of Philips for their game console, which is called the CDI. And that thing is a hot piece of trash. And there are some Zelda games and some Mario games on there, which...
Oh, is that like the really weird
The
looking Zelda?
FMV ones, yep.
Yeah, and these
Yep.
e-talks, link
Yep.
talks.
Yeah.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they're really weird games. But what I was talking about with Nintendo was even before they got into video games, they were a toy manufacturer. Like they were like a playing card company. They made like decks of playing cards.
I think they used to also manage hotels. Nintendo, yeah.
I can believe that.
This comes from the president of Nintendo saying we aren't really fixated on our consoles. At the moment, we're offering the uniquely developed Nintendo Switch and its software, and that's what we're basing how we deliver the Nintendo experience on. That being said, technology changes. We'll continue to think flexibly about how to deliver that experience as time goes on. It has been over 30 years since we started developing consoles. Nintendo's history goes back even farther than that, and through all the struggles that they faced, the only thing that they thought about was what to make next. In the long term, perhaps our focus as a business could shift away from the home consoles. Flexibility is just as important as ingenuity.
It just sounds like something to make the investors not freak out if the Switch sales slip.
I don't think they're going to, though.
No, but it's like they're just saying like, hey guys, if gaming starts to fuck up, don't worry, we're willing to leave.
He also went on to talk about smartphones as well, how they want to increase the amount of games on smartphones that have continuous stream of revenue. So there might be
Microtransactions.
They might just think that's just the better way to go
It is technically
because they're making hundreds of millions off of their smartphone games. You know,
This is why Diablo is no longer on the computer.
right?
Why make a fully fledged Diablo game? It takes longer to make when you can make one for less and just make more money.
Crazy, eh?
It makes more sense.
Kind of sounds like they're just saying, "Hey, we're prepared to do this just in case we have to."
Yeah. It definitely is an investor like PR statement. It sounds like.
Yeah, I wonder if they're also talking like maybe streaming. Now, Nintendo and the internet doesn't always go hand in hand, but
Yeah, I'm logging in via a weird Nintendo account, which is known as a third party account.
did either of you download the app for your Switch? The Nintendo app? You guys aren't chatting on the app there?
No, we're not chatting on the app.
I don't think we have any of the same games anyway.
Oh, okay.
Hey, really? Would you use that? You just fucking
I have Mario Party.
I would still have the app. At least.
use Discord or something.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Sure.
just gonna use PlayStation. I think.
yeah.
I do wish you could chat in the PlayStation app, like
the
voice chat.
the Xbox one lets you do that.
Yeah, like voice chat. I mean,
Oh, voice chat. Yeah. No, PlayStation doesn't know what they're doing with that app.
Yeah, they have like a separate messaging app too,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
you can't.
And they have there's a communities app, and there's like a groups app I think too.
There's
They have
also
an app for communities.
Yep.
Don't you use those? Aren't
And
you?
No.
there's a remote app like a virtual, like an Apple TV remote, but they have one for the PlayStation.
That sounds pretty good.
You would think so.
Oh, damn.
It doesn't work on any app on the PlayStation. It only works for the menu.
That's, oh, man.
You launch Netflix with it. Guess what? That doesn't work anymore. You have to pick up a controller.
That's exactly like their voice commands. You can only go to an app. You can't actually do anything once you're there.
Yeah. Yeah, and with at least with the Xbox One, was the Xbox was just across the board. Like it literally it acted as a virtual controller.
Well, that was probably from their what was it called?
The Smart Glass.
Smart Glass.
But but even before Smart Glass, they had a dead. You could still. I think I still have
the 360?
it in my account, like the 360 one. It worked fine. It treated it as a virtual controller. You in theory could play a game with it if you really wanted to.
It's like playing games with the Rock Band controller.
Yeah.
Someone played the Bloodborne or Dark Souls, one of those with the freaking guitar.
Did they beat it?
They did something. I'm not sure if they played the whole game or what they did.
Holy
but,
God.
They probably got up to the first boss.
How do you move around? What do you use to move around?
There's a D-pad on it.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Or if you're playing on the Wii, it's your Wiimotes in there.
Is it actually?
Oh my
Yeah, the
God.
Wiimote goes right into the
Yeah.
guitars.
Oh, that's weird, man.
Yeah.
What a time period, eh?
It was
I
great.
think that one though was wireless because it
Yeah,
slid
those
in because that was the first one that was wireless when the PlayStation and the Xbox ones were wired.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny that they had wireless controllers, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait. The first Guitar Hero launched on PS2, didn't it?
Yeah,
Holy Christ! It was a PS2 exclusive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. And they made the guitar first.
PS2.
PS2, yeah.
Yeah. They were really small, really shitty looking guitars before they had like the branding license in as well.
Oh, wow.
And because what happened was it was a toy company that made it. They made the guitar and then they went to a video game developer and said, make a game around this. Like it was reversed.
Man, I still want to. I never got one of those the basses with the split strum bar.
Oh, they had two little.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah.
My buddy had one of those. I couldn't use it.
I didn't like up the strumming up.
Yeah.
Like, regardless, it didn't seem as accurate to me. It was weird.
You guys want to play Rock Band?
I want to play Guitar Hero.
You had that Rock Band party, and that was a pretty damn good party.
Yeah, we could.
That was
we
pretty-
could do a 10th anniversary.
Yeah, that was damn fun. I got to dust off all my old stuff. I think they're in the garage and getting all moldy and gross.
Beatles Rock Band's still the best one.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Beatles Rock Band. I liked the opening intro, like the style of the opening intro. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
But I wish the entire game was that. Because you go to the
Yeah.
game and it's just like basic CG, like or
The
like
rock
they're
stuff, rock band models.
Rock Band just models, just like on the stage. It's like why couldn't they have just had the stylized?
Apparently, Yoko Ono was a big part of that. The design. Apparently, they had a version that they showed her,
Yeah.
and like something like she's like, that's not the Beatles, and then she's the one who stylizes it. I think.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
I also wish there was a way to take the Beatles Rock Band and pretty much take any Rock Band disc you had and like import them into everything.
That's what 3 kind of was.
That's what through like all the previous DLC and most of the offsets you could import. You couldn't do like Beatles had to be separate.
That kind of makes sense though.
They wouldn't let that roll over.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Frickin' Paul McCartney and Ringo were at E3.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Nah, man, the amount of money they must have dropped it. Just
Is that the same year as the GTA 4 tattoo?
It was
Maybe.
definitely at Microsoft's press conference.
Definitely there, yeah.
there was a GTA 4 tattoo.
Yeah, you don't remember that? Where like
What's his name?
Moore? Yeah, Peter Moore. Is it Peter Moore?
I think so.
Yeah.
He came up and he's like, "Look, everybody," or something, and then he like rolls up his sleeve and it's a GTA 4 tattoo, and then that's how they revealed GTA 4.
I don't.
You don't remember
I
that?
don't know if I remember
That's
that.
why every single time he comes out on stage, he always goes, "Nope, got nothing."
Yeah.
'Cause people all go like they do the roll up the sleeve thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why he did every single EA conference he had to do that. No, got nothing.
I miss him. I liked him.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was pretty good.
He's managing a soccer team now.
That seems like a perfect fit for him, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did a podcast where he talked about the Red Ring of Death like debacle, how he had to go to what's that crazy
Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer.
Why is he
and they're like,
crazy?
we have a
crazy.
$1 billion problem.
That's pretty good.
Yes, you might like you'd be shitting. Like it would be horrible.
I wouldn't care. I'm an executive. What am I gonna do? Get yelled at and then thrown out? Okay, bye.
No, but that's still like we made a $1 billion mistake. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, you just blame someone else.
But Steve Ballmer just said like just fix it, and then Xbox was still successful.
Fuck yeah. Well, he probably
it
knew.
won. It won last generation. So
Pretty good. He probably knew it would happen. Like
Maybe.
he knew you'd make more than $1 billion back.
Just like he knew the Zune was going to beat the iPod.
It did, didn't it?
It's in Guardians. The
Oh, yeah.
iPod's not in Guardians.
I still think that part's so good.
With the fucking Zune.
found this in the garbage. Apparently, it's all the way back on Earth. Fucking Microsoft Zune. That's so good.
I remember the Zune displays at Walmart. Pretty good.
The weird UI, man.
I never saw the UI.
Didn't they have a brown one?
I don't know.
Pretty sure they had a brown Zune. Pretty gross looking.
Ew.
Yeah. All right, last story. Amazon is launching a game streaming service. This is just a report. This isn't any solid information, I guess, yet. It comes from GameSpot. This seems pretty expected, I think. They have Twitch. Why not? Everyone else seems to be getting into game streaming. So why not them too?
Netflix will probably happen soon.
I think Netflix would do it. I think they'd be foolish not to.
Oh, you just boot up Netflix and there's a movie side and a game side.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
Yeah, I could
And
subscribe to that.
Gives them reason to increase the price.
But also,
They already they would have a rotating catalog. Like, the licenses would expire like everything else.
But maybe they'll start like they did their Netflix originals. They'll have Netflix original games.
Oh, fuck. Black Mirror, the game.
You know
Well,
what's super
Bandersnatch is kind of
It's a halfway.
yeah.
What's super interesting about this is who's gonna run these things. So right now we're fighting over like the launcher, and like each game dev has their own like streaming thing. But like, what about AMD and Nvidia? Are they gonna, as a hardware manufacturer, are they gonna have to do?
Nvidia does have the streaming service.
Nvidia does, but I'm saying like primarily, like, are they gonna? Are the manufacturers of the hardware going to have to jump into this? Like the base manufacturers, not just Sony, but the actual like AMD. And
Probably.
I'm confused.
Well, because like if I have no reason to buy their card now. If I have a Microsoft tablet that can just stream it, why do I need to buy their cards?
Yeah, so the only card
And
they're
they're
ever
gonna-
selling you is the integrated one in the
Yeah.
maybe the TV that you bought that's streaming compatible or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're selling much less cards in desktops as well as in, I think it's an AMD in the PlayStation, right?
AMD, yeah.
So it's like you're losing that, and then Nvidia, whatever they're in, they're losing that. So is it gonna boil down to not only the launcher, but like, which streaming service do you use?
And you can literally just stream to your TV. Like PlayStation Now streams to certain Bravia TVs.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So you don't need anything. You're right.
And then now we have the conflict of we got Sony in the game with the PlayStation brand, and then we got the manufacturers like that, like I said, AMD and that. And is Intel gonna have to do it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And what's stopping publishers from doing their own?
Yeah. So we got publishers, we got developers, we got hardware manufacturers, and then we have like the base hardware manufacturer, if you will, of the actual components. Is Samsung gonna have to do it?
It almost seems like you don't need Sony. You know what I mean?
Sony still develops their own. Like they
would just become a game developer.
Well, Sony has, like, Sony has the relationships too.
But that's what happened to manufacturers in the past, like Sega,
Atari.
Atari, and Sega. So
Although they would start selling enterprise grade graphic processing units.
Who?
These big boys. They would then get into data centers. They wouldn't just, maybe that's where the money would be. It'd be like, what for server farm do you have? The Sony one's powered by the AMD server farm that has Ryzen and whatever cards are in it or whatever. Enterprise grade. Like they'd get into data center stuff. They wouldn't deal with like 1070s if it's NVIDIA or like whatever you're buying.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where the money would be.
It's going to be a weird shift, I think. It's going to be rough.
I don't think it's going to be rough. Because everything's digital now. So how easy it's to say, like, here's, we're going to stream this now. Hooray. Or if you can't do that, it's the same data, so download it. Hooray. Like, it's not, I don't think it's going to be as rough as we think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Like, on your computer, you might have a whole bunch of launchers, but that's about it, probably.
That's not that,
I don't
that's
mind
not that
having
big of a
launchers.
deal.
I have a massive taskbar with all my launchers in the bottom.
Your computer
everything-
takes 25 minutes to start up because you fucking have everything launching. You have stuff on launching that you don't even use. You told me you have stuff that you've installed and never signed into. That's what you told me last time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what would.
I don't know what it was.
Did you have...
I know. I think I'm signed into everything. I just don't actually use it.
Oh, okay. But even still, that's ridiculous.
I like having it. I like knowing it's there.
No, but
If
don't
I
have
had
it
to,
start
I'd-
up on startup. That doesn't make any sense. Just have it. Okay, you have it there, and that's it.
No. What I do is I get up, I turn on the power of my computer, I go take a shower, do all my grocery shopping, pretty much go do my day, and then I come to my computer, and then it's good to go. And then I have and then I have a bunch of errors because like there's a fucking update with the NVIDIA GeForce Experience that can run the what's their recording system?
Oh God, I can't remember now. I thought it was GeForce Experience, but I can't remember.
There's a they have their own onboard video recorder.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The problem is there's a driver in there somewhere, and it fails to start that. So on startup, now I just get this massive error, and it's just like failed to start this driver. I'm like, fuck, like why, like what is this? So now I'm just gonna uninstall GeForce Experience. I'm gonna clean out the entire directory, delete everything, and then just reinstall and see what happens.
Good luck.
Yep.
Good old PC gaming.
Actually, do you have multiple hard drive bays?
I have 2 in my computer. I just bought a 4 unit enclosure
For external?
For external.
Your boot drive should be an SSD. That might help you a bunch.
My boot drive is a hybrid.
But SSD would still be faster, even launching those apps on boot up.
Yeah, but
It wouldn't take 25 minutes.
yeah, like it's not 25. Like that's embellishing a little bit, but it's not 25. Like it is. It's not as long as we're making it out to be. But like
I'd say mine is 3 times as fast as it was on the hybrid drive. Not boot up.
My problem is, well, then you're significantly decreasing in size for the same amount of money.
No, that's why
an
your
SSD is even more.
That's why your boot drive is small, and you keep the other drive in the other bay
Yeah.
for mass storage.
All your data goes in there. All your installed stuff goes in there.
Yeah.
Nah, can't be bothered.
All right.
maybe when this drive fails.
Yeah.
Now that everything now that I have my OS installed, like I very rarely want to like. If I don't have a reason to move it over, I really don't like doing that.
All
It's a
right.
pain in the ass.
Thanks for listening. We stream on Wednesdays on Twitch, twitch.tv/Day1PatchMedia.
I got a query corner question.
Oh, do you?
If you want to do
Yeah,
it.
go ahead. Yeah, we got time.
All right. So now that this generation is almost coming to an end,
Where does steep fit into
Yeah.
this then?
what kind of steep tattoo are you guys getting? But what games do you think will be classics in like 10 years' time? Still playable.
Ooh.
Types
Wow.
of games that will like come on like the Xbox 6's store and you'll be like, holy crap, I'm excited that game's
Rocket
finally
League.
coming to the store. Rocket League?
Yep.
I'll still
wait,
be
wait.
playing.
Do you personally have to be excited for it?
Yeah. I'm talking games like
Oh, that we're looking forward to being classics, or that we think that will just be classics.
both, yeah.
Rocket League for
But
sure.
like I can still go back and play like BioShock. That's a classic game to me.
I was gonna say, what's your 360 selection? Because that's like a generation not too long past.
Ooh.
Well, I was gonna use that to say like, because some people wouldn't even want to go back a gen,
So
it'd be hard for them to judge.
If
this one.
if you looking at the 360, like a classic for me would be the first/second Mass Effect.
That first
Oh.
is not playable.
That first one's so
Oh
good.
man,
That is not playable. I'm sorry.
Because the problem is, though, it is a PC game. It was a game
Oh,
that
okay.
is a game that they was clearly developed for PC, and at the last second, Microsoft said we're publishing it on 360. Like it is. Yeah,
God bless them.
the interface and the movement's kind of weird, but I'm forgiving it because it does make more sense with a mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
I played quite a bit of that one. I even found all those like weird aliens on that.
I still to this day I've never found all the keepers.
I did.
I don't know where all the fucking keepers
there's
are.
there's one hidden in literally just a closet. You open up a door and he's just in there.
Okay, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I still don't have that achievement. That Alan Wake, I fucking love that first game.
Okay.
I love the first Alan Wake game.
I just thought of one for this generation.
What's that?
Spider-Man. I think that's still going to
Oh.
be
That's a good one. That's a really
extraordinarily
good one.
playable in like the next 10 years. And still look great.
Because people still rave about the number 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, it's replaced that game now, I think.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good one. Minecraft is gonna be another big one, I think.
You think people will still be playing that?
That's timeless, I think. Or it'll like lull, and it'll come back, or it'll have like a relaunch.
I wonder what the numbers are on that.
Minecraft?
Yeah, because like I don't really hear anyone talking about it anymore.
Not anymore.
But
Like
are the kids still playing it?
No, my nephew and his friends who were all into Minecraft, they've all moved on to Fortnite.
Is that an
Fortnite?
age thing though? I don't know. Is that an age?
It does seem like Fortnite might be a slightly older crowd, maybe.
like starting at like age 8 or 9, and then to like 13, let's say. It would be on the
Man,
rave.
so it's so weird. Like my nephew's now into like he's in his basement and he's got like he's partied up with his friends and they have their iPads out too, so they're all FaceTiming and they're grouping
he has
with
that
each other.
Xbox.
Yeah, he bought an Xbox. I'm just like, he's like, I want to buy an Xbox, Zio. I'm just like, no, you really don't. Like, why an Xbox? He's like, I want to play Overwatch. I'm like, buddy, like, hey, you and I can't play together. Like, he's like, why? I'm like, because that was that crossplay thing is a Fortnite agreement. It's not a Blizzard thing. Like, you and I won't be able to play. He's like, well, I still want it anyways. I'm like, all right, fine, spend your fucking money, whatever allowance money you have.
He bought an Xbox One?
He bought an Xbox One, a One S. He bought that one there.
Damn.
Okay, he bought the Forza bundle.
I want that.
He's like, I'm like, oh, you and I can play Forza together. Like, I can buy it on PC and we can play that together. So, but fuck, and then trying to explain to like my brother-in-law and my sister about a Microsoft account and Xbox gamer tag, Xbox Gold.
You handle it. Don't get them to touch it.
I wanted to handle his account since day one. They won't let me do it. They fucked up all of his accounts. Okay, and now he has parental controls all over the place. He can't do shit on any of his things because there's so many blocks that come up. And I told my sister and I told my brother, like, let me take care of it. Let me manage his accounts. She's like, no, she's all paranoid. She's like, I want to do it. I want to make sure what he's doing. And now, like, every time he wants to do something or he wants to, like, go to the eShop on Nintendo, guess what? His password system comes up. Mom, what's my password? She's like, I don't know. I have to look it up. And she digs through this massive list of passwords and shit. She's like, here, let me punch it in. She's there for 20 minutes. And then she finally gets in. And then if you accidentally back out, you got to go back in. It's a fucking pain.
I mean, that's a good system, but not for his age, probably. I would guess.
I'm having a hard time thinking of games, Marty.
I think the problem is a lot of them are online, and the community won't be there when you're playing them 10
That's a
years
really
from
good
now.
point.
But I can't even think of games on this gen that really had an impact on me other than like God of War. But I wouldn't consider that like a classic.
Yeah,
I'm not sure we make classics anymore.
No, you don't.
Fallout 4 for me, definitely.
I would say Bloodborne.
Overwatch.
I like Bloodborne a lot.
Well, would you play that again?
I don't see. It's difficult for me because I don't play old games.
I wouldn't play it. I'd like pick it up and
But
run the first alley.
Let's say it's been like 10 years and it comes out on the PS5 or whatever, or 6 or whatever we're on, right?
Like if it gets a re-release, like an HD remaster.
Yeah, and you'd be like, oh, I had some good times with that game, and then
Well, okay. I will use a game that is coming out in 2 weeks. I've already pre-ordered. Onimusha.
Okay.
I have those games for PlayStation. I have played those games over and over again on the PlayStation. Onimusha was the first PlayStation 2 game I bought. I bought it with my system.
Oh, this has already sounded bad.
That game is one of my favorite games of all time.
Would I pick it up and be able to play it, or to be like, oh god, look at this thing?
You'd probably say, "Oh God, look at this thing."
Okay.
You want to know why? Is because it follows it's a demon samurai game, but it follows the old Resident Evil tank control system. So it's camera locked.
I would be like, oh god, look at this thing.
Yeah, you can't. They're probably with this new update. They're probably going to do what they did with the GameCube remake, and they're probably going to rework. You know, when Aaron was playing it, and you had two styles of movement. You can do the old tank controls, or you can do like the more joystick. They're probably going to do that, but it's camera locked. But I've played those Onimusha games over and over again. I fucking love those games, and I'm looking forward to playing it again in 2 weeks.
Shadow of the Colossus was like that. Everyone loves that game. They're excited for it. I was like, oh man, I finally get to play like an HD version of it. Horrible controls, and I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
But people who liked it before would still like it.
Right.
They still have that muscle memory, probably.
But some games like transcend all that. They're still good games, still playable.
Like the original Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Super Mario World, one of the best platformers of all time. Every single person should play that game.
That's a bit clunky, isn't it? Now
Super Mario World? Absolutely.
Nowadays?
Absolutely not. That game is still holds up.
It's not as clunky as you think.
Okay.
Super Mario World is that and Yoshi's Island, two of the best platformers ever made.
It's no Crash Bandicoot, that's for sure.
Fucking.
Where you're like, oh my
Crash
god, I
Bandicoot.
forgot this game controls like it was 20 years ago. Still,
There's no games like that anymore either.
what do you mean?
They tried with Knack. Knack failed.
The problem with Knack is I forget what he looks like already.
Who
I'll
was-
never forget
someone
what
said
Crash
that.
looks like.
Someone was talking about good design, and it's like, yeah, Crash and Spyro.
Oh,
like,
I think it was Donkey.
You can recognize them, and then freaking Knack is like 1,000 different pieces. A kid
Yeah.
can't draw that. A kid doesn't
Yeah.
care
I
about
don't
that.
even know what Knack looks like.
He's 1,000 pieces.
He's red. He's got like red and brownish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big old ears and stuff.
I don't know.
And he changes. He changes what he looks like.
Oh man.
I don't know what that is.
It was just a tech demo to show off the console with all their particle effects and how many pieces they could track at once. The age of classic games is over, Marty.
But or is it impossible to identify during the age?
But some games are removed enough. Like we're approaching the end of the generation. Right?
Like, would you consider Portal a classic game?
Absolutely. I'd
yeah,
absolutely say that's
yeah.
a classic.
It's a good one. Was that this gen?
No.
Portal
Portal
was,
2?
30.
Portal
the
2 was
360.
360 PS3.
What about something like Red Dead? Red Dead 2.
I'll let you know this
Nah.
weekend when I boot it up. I got my PS3 in the car.
Oh, Red Dead or Red Dead 2?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, the second one.
Like,
Two might be.
Would
yeah.
this become a class? Well, Red Dead Redemption became a classic.
But that's
I
definitely
don't.
a case.
I don't think that I would consider that. I haven't played it, but I don't think that would fall into the classic.
wouldn't it? It's like a super like detailed world. It's like has a really
But-
big story. It's critically acclaimed. It has everything going for it.
But it's not. It's not great. Like people who have been playing it long term have been complaining about it more and more. Or I think like when we think of classic is something that you can just pick up and say, I remember exactly what I'm doing in this. I can go through the motions as if I had just played this yesterday.
I think that applies to Red Dead too.
You think so? Okay.
There's enough in the exploration and open world that still surprises me. I'm like, oh man, that's fucking sweet. I've never noticed this shack with these dead people in it.
There's a lot in the world. Like I found that giant, and you guys have never seen it,
Yeah.
and that's pretty cool.
The what?
I went up in the mountains, and I just found like these massive bones, and it said I could inspect them, so I did it, and it was like a giant, like an actual human giant bones, and like he drew it on the map, and then he wrote in his journal like a little blurb about how he found some like massive bones.
That's
I like
weird.
the journal stuff. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah. It's pretty random, but it's pretty good.
The outro playing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of games that like I can like remember playing it. Like I remember sitting down playing it. Those are usually the games I consider classic. I remember sitting down and playing Red Dead, the original.
Mm-hmm.
And
BioShock for me.
Yeah.
You're right. The first BioShock.
What about Last of Us? Even though that's kind of like a cross gen though.
but it was originally launched on PS3.
Yeah.
Does that negate it?
I think so. You're
Like-
not going to be like, oh, you're not going to call that a PS4 game. That was a PS3 game.
I would say it's a PS3 classic, but I wouldn't say it's a PS4
See, the
classic.
thing is that's hard to say because like something like GTA 5 released at the end of 360 and then essentially immediately released on PS4, Xbox One. So it's like
For me, when it comes to GTA, it's not like, oh, that game's classic. That's the latest GTA.
I would say that 4 is classic. I remember that story exactly. I could play that game. I know a bunch of the lines. I know a bunch of the missions.
Could you go have fun?
Yeah,
I treat GTA.
Could someone pick that up after 5 and have fun?
yeah, definitely. It's
I-
actually totally
The
different.
driving's horrible though.
I treat
Driving's rough, yeah.
treat GTA like every other third person open world sandbox game.
Do you know what? Actually, that's an interesting point. Is it because
I put GTA and Assassin's Creed in the same boat.
but
Absolutely not.
are sandbox games too much?
Not in the quality, but in the same like the check box. It's like open world, main missions, side missions, exploration, like
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
character
Okay.
character custom. Like they hit all the same marks for me. Yes, one is way more enjoyable, and I see way more care and finesse put into one than the other. But to me,
Yeah.
they all, if I had to put them in bins, that's where they go.
Are those games unclassicable? If that's a word, it isn't. But is that our issue? Is this gen is filled with sandbox games? even though like Spider-Man's a free roaming game, whatever, but like these games are less linear. And so you can't really sit down and just play it because it's like I could do 15,000 tasks right now.
I think sequels are harder to make classicable.
AC2 is a good example of a classic sequel, way better than the first one.
But that's because it was so different from the first one.
And the first one's like a really, really extravagant tech demo. Like,
Yeah.
the first one doesn't feel like a game. The first one feels like a...
First one's pretty bad.
Yeah, the first one feels like a demo of what they want the franchise to be. Like, do this, do that, and like... We're still trying things out.
I think the cases where the sequel is more classicable is something like that, or Mass Effect, where it is like a completely massive leap in quality.
But
But if you go from a good game to another good game sequel, like Red Dead to Red Dead 2,
Yeah.
it's harder to consider Red Dead 2 classic.
See, you would just call the franchise classic.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Yeah, so
Mass
GTA
Effect as a
As a
franchise
classic
is a classic
franchise,
franchise.
yeah.
Zelda is a classic franchise.
Yeah.
I can still play Ocarina of Time, and I've never beaten it,
Jeez.
and I can still enjoy it.
Yeah, I can play Link's Awakening for sure.
A Link to the Past.
Have none of us played? Have you played? You started the newest
of the
one,
Wild?
Breath of the Wild, right?
Yeah, I fucked up my save files though.
Jeez.
I got stuck in a corner, and I'm like, fuck, I need to roll this back, and I rolled it. I tried to like roll back too far, and I lost a lot of progress.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
I can't. I'm like, this is it. Snapped up that Wii U case for last time. It was a Wii. I have a Wii U version too.
I think
Damn.
I have to go
Hey,
through a
it
list
runs fine.
of all this current gen games.
Let's
And
Get back to me on that.
Yeah.
one.
Like
Let's
Assassin's
take
Creed
a look.
Origins, or the big ones, or Odyssey. They're too big to just pick up and play, aren't they?
yeah,
Good thing I have a list.
you have
of
to put time
every
in to
game I
enjoy
own.
it.
But isn't that most games now?
No, like Overwatch, I can pick up and enjoy.
Is that a classic game though? Because the community will be dead.
We got to define what's a classic, right?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, it could just be a franchise, right? Overwatch 2 will come out eventually,
That's true.
and then I'll just replace my feelings for Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
Just like how you're not sticking with the old Smash Bros. You're going ahead.
Sometimes, especially with this new one, because it has all the characters anyway. It's not like I'll go play Melee because Mewtwo was in it or something.
Does it have
you
the
know what I
classic maps too? Or
mean? Yeah,
the-
yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't have everything though. I've noticed now.
You know what's interesting about this is like if you think of a classic game, even an open world game like a Fallout, I will remember the story of Fallout 3, for example, more than I'll remember me just running around. And yet most of your time is spent running around. So the more a game gives you freedom, the less classic I think it can be.
I kind of think it's the opposite.
I think it's the opposite.
I'm gonna remember Red Dead 2's world more than the missions I did.
Would that be though because that game world is filled with stuff and it's probably the first of its kind to be so full?
It's just the beauty of the open world. That's just how good it is.
Whereas like GTA 4, I don't really remember driving around, but I remember Nico Bellic's story fully.
Yeah.
Borderlands 2.
It is the best Borderlands.
Yeah.
Is there a third one?
That's another case.
The pre-sequel is the third.
That's
entry.
another
okay.
case where it was a lot better than the first.
Yeah. GoldenEye.
GoldenEye's a good one.
Are we just going through all classics
I don't
now?
think
not this
GoldenEye
gen?
is playable.
I don't
I
think
played it recently.
it's not. I don't think it's playable, but the people have a lot of fond memories of it.
Nightfire. Nightfire's playable.
Yeah.
Nightfire's definitely playable.
I would say Braid is a
There's a lot of indie games that'll be
like
classics.
Dead Cells will be a classic in 10 years. I'll put money on
But
that.
then again, there's so many of those that there's so many
Dead
classics.
Cells is fucking amazing. Dead
I know
Cells
you
is
love Dead
so
Cells.
goddamn good. I
You know
bought
what,
that game
actually?
twice.
The Division, I could play that.
No, you can't.
They can't. The servers are offline, man.
No,
You
but
can't.
like if the servers weren't, like if we assume that,
Well, you'll be playing the Division 2.
yeah, so it's a classic series then, I think.
I don't think that classifies.
What?
Not for me personally.
Well, you never played as much as we did.
It's only one game in so far.
Yeah, that too. But
And
like
then- and
I
these
could go
games-
and do the story missions.
But even thinking outside of myself, the gaming culture as a whole, I don't think considers the Division a classic
Yeah,
series.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not.
I think the problem to being a classic now is they update the game.
Yeah.
It
That's true.
changes. I remember when Roadhog used to stand still when he healed. That's classic
Oh my
Overwatch
God.
to me.
Oh my god.
not Overwatch. World of Warcraft has so many updates that they're making a World of Warcraft classic while the game is still being
It's called
supported.
Vanilla.
That's pretty interesting. I like that idea.
The first Dead Space, I would almost consider a classic.
Yeah.
Did that not get replaced by the second one?
Dead Space? Yeah, there's a sequel.
I would say it's linear enough for you to remember each game.
No, I'm just saying.
Like you, if
My
you're
perception of Dead Space 2 is that it's the superior game.
Okay.
This is how I compare Dead Space. I compare it exactly to the Alien franchise. First one is a masterpiece and it's mostly horror. The second one is a little bit more action, but still has quite a bit of horror in it. And then the third one is when it just goes to straight action.
That seemed to be the case with all movies that came out around the 80s.
Yeah.
The first movie was like almost horror, and then it just became action franchise.
Predator.
Yeah.
I don't like that first Dead Space.
I love that first Dead
It
Space.
feels like a PS2 game.
It was early 360. It was like 2007.
It looks like one, yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
it
it controls like one.
Yeah.
I fucking love that game. I never felt more of a sense of isolation.
Matt couldn't shoot the asteroids.
Fuck, that was annoying.
Yeah, I had to take the controller from you.
That was when I invented the get that resonator and buy the DLC. You know what's interesting is something like Fortnite is a huge phenomenon. I don't think that can be classic.
To me, that seems more like a generational fad.
Is it though that games like that game, World of Warcraft is a kind of an example, all those type of games, is it because they're being updated and it's kind of like a chore? The Division is a kind of an example like that, where it's like I could go back as a classic whatever and play the story missions, but I wouldn't want to grind in the Dark Zone. That's not part of my classic experience. I don't want to go and grind.
No, it's just what is classic if the game gets updated and it gets removed? You're not going to remember things. You're not going to remember the things that went missing in the Division.
Or if you beat it to the credits and then you left, the game changes by a factor of 40%. You'll never see that, and so your version of the game is totally different.
I think music's a big key too. That's why Nintendos are so classic.
For me, I'd consider like Gran Turismo 2 a classic.
None this generation, no way.
Not many.
What classic games?
Not many.
None are going to be classic.
I think. Well, for me, Fallout 4 for sure.
I just don't think we don't know about them yet.
I think on average, though, there was more good games. There wasn't a lot of flops.
They had to finish them.
Well, there just wasn't a lot of flops this generation, I feel. There's like one or two like major flops.
There's no flops, but a lot of them were terribly average.
Yeah.
Helldivers.
That's not
Am I
classic.
right?
I'm out.
Am I right,
No.
Ryan?
I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm
come on.
shutting the podcast
telling you
down
right
there.
now, I'm out.
Or Iron Brigade, right?
Iron Brigade is awful.
That's fucking
I
fire.
love the idea of it. I love the idea of Helldivers too. Actually, I wouldn't mind playing Helldivers. But
No, I'm not.
I
I'm
would
not
say-
playing
I'll install
Helldivers.
I wouldn't
Helldivers.
say it's a classic.
Go ahead.
Oh fuck! Iron Brigade was great. I used to play that game all night. Me and my buddy Sean. We just lobby with randoms and just play the waves.
It's on
It's on Steam.
it's on Xbox Game Pass.
It's on Xbox Game Pass. There's a glitch though. We tried this, me and him. It is one of the few games you can't lobby up with people cross system. There's like a connection issue. It will error out, and it's like
Shit.
only with that game you can't lobby Xbox One and Xbox 360 together, which is really weird.
What about the Far Cry series? That game has literally evolved.
Get the
a lot.
fuck out, Matt.
I don't know about that. 3, 4, and 5 seem pretty similar.
They're
to
all
me.
the same.
Yeah,
game,
but three like it evolved to that point. It was like the first one was really arcadey.
Were they good though?
The first, they were like pretty critically acclaimed at the time.
Isn't 2 on Games with Gold right now?
Yeah, two is, or I don't know about that, but 2 was like a real big game for its time.
I have 2 copies of that. One on Steam, one on 360, and I'll probably play neither.
Neither of them.
Far Cry 5 is a classic
Would
game.
you consider
for me,
Journey
actually.
a classic?
Yeah,
That game's too short, I think.
that was but
That-
it was
that's
short and
not-
sweet.
That's not one of the criteria, though. It's the
But like, is it that memorable for that 30 minutes or whatever it is? Like that's what I'm
Yes.
trying to get at.
Yes.
Oh, here's a classic. You guys agree with me on this? Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, that's a good one.
More so the first one.
You know why they're classics? First of all, they came out right after each other, is 1 year apart, and then they just stopped.
Yeah.
No more
Oh,
sequels
yeah.
to ruin the franchise.
Well,
no more
they
sequels to make
stopped.
it muddy.
They stopped because people got pissed off that they released the second one.
Or they just don't make games anymore.
But it was like people were upset because there was a second one. They
It is pretty bullshit.
Why not?
It could easily just been DLC.
Yeah, just put money or like continue to support the first one, but they just made a second
but
one.
they like the value you get for buying the second one is
You don't even need to buy the first game anymore.
you don't even
Yeah,
buy the
yeah,
you get
because
all the
it's
DLC and
all in the-
everything.
it-
What are their game developers doing?
They probably got rid of them.
I thought they
Just
got
focusing on
the
Dota.
one thing. Yeah.
Oh,
maybe
Dota.
they-
Dota's
go.
making them all their money. They don't give a shit.
And Steam. They're just raking it
Yeah,
in.
they're just breaking in the money. Limbo.
What the hell do we play a lot?
Limbo? Would
Who?
you get to that?
We do. Like we play games
It's
a lot.
hard to consider like sure all these indie games get their fan bases, but there's so many of them. I don't
That's
know if
true.
they're all classics.
I think the thing with indie games, why they resonate a little more, is because they're different.
They're like a little unique experience.
Yeah.
It's tailor made
Yeah.
by
The
like one
Forest.
creative director.
I think The Forest.
I
is a
can't
good
even
one.
picture it.
It's that really scary one with like that weird like cult that eats people in the woods.
I'm so sick of cults.
But it was released a few years ago and it just came out on PS4. It was like
Okay.
it was like in a beta or whatever, and it's out of beta now. And like that game is it's a horror survival building game. It's super unique.
All right. Well, we can't just go through the list of every single game that came out.
Well, we can off air.
Yeah.
Overcooked.
No, I'm out. I'm out on that.
No.
All right. I'm wrapping this one up. Thanks for listening.
Plants vs. Zombies, the first one.
No.
Oh, fuck that.
Me and Matt stream on Wednesdays around 8 on Twitch.
On the
And,
old Twitcherino.
You should stream some PS4 classics.
Yeah.
Rayman Origins.
No. All right. We'll see you guys.
See ya.
Peace.